What's up, Halloween fans? Welcome to another video. Today, I want to talk about why I think Halloween Ends should not be released on Peacock. But before I get into that, if you want to see other videos about horror movies, horror movie franchises like Friday the 13th, Scream, Terrifier. I'm getting excited for Terrifier. Terrifier 2, I guess. My goodness, I'm excited for that. So if you want to stay up to date on all that stuff, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be making a lot of videos about that. But anyway, first of all, think about this. If Halloween Ends isn't a theatrical only release, at least for a while, then what movie would be? I mean, Halloween is the premier horror movie franchise. The fact that they're even thinking about releasing it in theaters and on Peacock at the same time is just crazy to me. There's no reason to do that. Last year, for Halloween Kills, there was a reason to do that. They had a lot of problems with COVID and it was delayed, and they just wanted as many people to see it as possible because they had to delay it from the year earlier. It was just a big mess, and I think it worked well for them. As we're going to see in some articles here, they made quite a bit of money in the box office no matter what, and Peacock gained a lot of subscribers. So, for that time, it was fine. But this is Halloween Ends. This is the final movie of this trilogy, and it's going to decide how people view this trilogy for years to come, which is important to me. So I want to read some articles that I found talking about why, just talking about different aspects of why it might be good, why it might be bad for it to be released on Peacock at the same time. Now, obviously, whether it's released on Peacock at the same time, or maybe should it be released a little while later, or should it be released not at all on Peacock until basically it's a DVD release, that's all up for debate. But I'm going to say right off the bat that I don't think it shouldn't be released on Peacock. I just think at least it should wait until at least the second weekend. So Halloween Ends should release on October 14th. Let it happen. Let it be theater exclusive for the first weekend, and probably the next weekend after that. Maybe even just the first weekend, but at least the second weekend after that. That's what I want to say. Give it 2 weekends, and then go ahead and release it on Peacock that Monday or something. Give it time to be the theater exclusive that it needs to be. It's Halloween Ends. It's Halloween. It's the premier horror franchise. Give it the respect it deserves. So let's see this article from Forbes that talks about why Halloween Ends will also open in theaters and on Peacock. It was pretty interesting. There's some good information, some good statistics in here. So starts off, what's good for Halloween Kills is good for Halloween Ends. Universal just announced via a Jamie Lee Curtis monologue video just a few weeks ago that the third and final chapter of Blumhouse's Laurie vs. Michael trilogy will get the same hybrid dual release as its predecessor. Halloween Ends is still opening theatrically on October 14th, but now will also be available concurrently on Peacock. That's not a massive surprise since Halloween Kills still opened with $49 million in its debut weekend last October and still grossed $92 million domestic and $131 million worldwide on a $20 million budget, despite being available on the streaming platform. I mean, so that's the thing. It did do good, but there were actual reasons for that. With COVID and everything, people didn't want to go for whatever reason. Now, there's not as much reason, so I just think it's really dumb. That was a domestic drop of 42% from Halloween 2018's domestic total, which is interesting. That was a big drop. It probably, obviously, it would have been, a smaller gap if they would have only released it in theaters, at least for a while. We can credit poor reviews, inferior buzz, less general audience curiosity, and the dual release strategy that cut down on repeat business. Even with all of those factors, it had a better hold percentage-wise than Halloween 2 from 1981 compared to Halloween from 78, and Halloween Resurrection, which is 30 compared to Halloween H2O. Its retention was essentially tied with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 compared to his 2007 remake. Yeah, so that's the thing. It didn't do too bad comparing it to other Halloween sequels in the franchise, but it's just not good enough. There's no reason to do that. At the very least, you can cut down on that gap by releasing it at least after the first weekend. It doesn't have to be a simultaneous release. I don't know why they're doing that. It says, I guess Halloween Ends could get a finale bump and play like The Curse of Michael Myers, which jumped up 35% from Revenge of Michael Myers 6 years later. Yeah, that's interesting. It could jump because of since it's the end of the trilogy. It could, but it seems somewhat unlikely. I think it will, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And I definitely think the simultaneous release is going to hurt those chances. They say Universal isn't risking much by doing the dual release. The likes of Halloween Kills thus far show that Universal can milk both respective revenue streams. I just don't see that. I don't see how. I mean, yeah, they both get a jump, but it would be higher in the theater. You got to respect these movies. You can't just put them on streaming instantly. So that was an interesting one. I really liked how that article compared the two, compared it to other Halloween sequels and kind of gives it some context. So, it could do really well. I think it'll do better than Halloween Kills. But now this article from Screen Rant says Halloween Ends streaming release isn't too surprising actually. They say it makes sense given both Halloween Kills' success and the streamer's struggles. That's the problem. Peacock hasn't been doing that good. Halloween Ends will release directly to Universal streaming service Peacock on the same day as its theatrical release this October. The previous installment, Halloween Kills, had the same dual release in 2021, though this year has seen studios pull back from their experiments with same-day streaming releases. Halloween Ends' simultaneous day-and-date release strategy makes sense given the studio's objective. All three movies in this subseries were produced by Jason Blum, who has been a vocal supporter of simultaneous streaming releases of movies. Reportedly, Blum was the one who proposed a day-and-date digital release for Halloween Kills after feeling that his company, one of his movies, didn't get, a lot of excitement because it was released during the pandemic only in theaters. Blumhouse's model is to produce horror movies for relatively little cost, with the company recently committing to rebooting The Exorcist, similar to its Halloween trilogy. But the streaming release of Halloween Ends wouldn't have received the go-ahead unless it also made sense for the movie's distributor, Universal Pictures. One major reason why Universal might have decided to release Halloween Ends on Peacock is that the simultaneous release model for Halloween Kills was good for them. It grossed $131 million in theaters on a budget of just $20 million. The simultaneous release will still mean that Halloween Ends probably won't make as much box office money as it could have, but Universal may be more concerned with driving subscribers to a streaming service. Peacock subscriber numbers have lagged behind both better established streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and its rough contemporaries like HBO Max and Disney Plus. Yeah, that's the problem. Peacock is not very successful, and why would it be? Not every company needs a streaming service. I knew from the very beginning when they announced that Peacock was going to be a thing that it wasn't going to do well. And that's the thing. You're sacrificing Halloween Ends and Halloween Kills, by the way, but I'm more worried about Halloween Ends. They're sacrificing it to the altar of, to get a few new subscribers, but really it's not going to last. So it's just, they're not respecting the Halloween franchise, and that's why I don't like it. And they're not respecting moviegoers and people that love movies anyway, that love to go to the theater. They're not respecting that. I'm not saying don't put it on Peacock, but don't put it on there at the same time. It does say, while the recent drastic changes at HBO Max suggest that Warner Brothers' experiment of releasing all its 2021 movies day and date on the service was deemed a failure, simultaneous releases still make sense for horror movies and other titles with lower budgets where studios have relatively little to lose. I can understand that, that they have a lower budget and everything, but it doesn't matter how low the budget is. It's a Halloween movie. If it's some random horror movie that's, a new movie that doesn't have anything to do with anything, go ahead and release it both. I mean, I still don't think it's a good idea, but this is Halloween. It's a big deal. It's the same as how Friday the 13th shouldn't be released on Paramount Plus or whatever. I'm not saying it will be. I'm just saying, you can guess right now that they would probably try to do that if they make a Friday the 13th movie, if they make a new one. So they should not do that. You have to respect these big franchises. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I think that it's not a good idea. They need to really consider what they want to do. That I just think they need to respect it and release it in the next, the next weekend or the 2 weekends later. But anyway, I just wanted to show those articles just to, get some context on the situation. But yeah, I just think that with Halloween Kills, a lot of people didn't like Halloween Kills, and there was a lot of criticism about it. And call me crazy, but I honestly think a lot of that is because it was on Peacock. I'm not sure how many people actually watched it on Peacock, but there was a big amount. And either way, it was pirated because it was on Peacock, and so a lot of people watched it that way too. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that it got around more and people were able to go and watch it a few times, like right at the beginning. And so obviously when you see a movie in the theater, usually you have a good idea of it. I mean, when I first saw Halloween Kills in the theater, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And my opinion went down a little bit afterwards, but when you're able to go and start watching it again and again and again right afterwards, instead of waiting for the DVD release or something, your opinion will obviously get lower and lower and lower, because you'll start to see the mistakes. So I just think there was a lot of people that did not like Halloween Kills. It was over, scrutinized, and I think a lot of that is because it was released on Peacock at the exact same time. And maybe it wasn't, maybe that didn't have a big effect, but it had a big, I think that it's plausible that it did have an effect. Because when you're in the theater, you get to be there with everyone else, and it's like an event, it's an experience, and that's what I want Halloween, to be. I want it to be an event. When you're there, you get to scream with everybody else, laugh with everybody else. It's just a really fun time, and you don't get that when you're watching it at home. I mean, you might a little bit, but not it's not the same. But anyway, do you think that they should release it on Peacock at the same time or not? Should they release it a little bit later? What do you think? Let me know. I just want it to be a big event that is a lot of fun for everybody, and I want it to be respected. It's Halloween Ends. It's the last of this trilogy. It's the last movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, supposedly, and a lot of the other cast, even Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers. So they need to show it the respect that it deserves. Now, if there's going to be two cuts, like Jamie Lee Curtis kind of hinted at, if there might be two cuts or something else on both, that's an interesting thing, but I still don't think, I think if there is two different cuts, it basically hurts it even more to be released on the same day because there needs to be an official release, then you can have another cut later on, but you don't want two dueling cuts. But if their goal is to gain subscribers for Peacock, then they'll probably do anything. So I just hope they show Halloween Ends the respect that it deserves. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to watch it on Peacock or are you going to watch it in the theaters? I know that theaters are expensive. It's crazy. In Mexico, the theaters, going to the movies costs like $3. It's crazy. So I wish it was like that here. It's not where I'm at. But anyway, I really appreciate you watching. If you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, have a great day.